What's up, Benchwarmers? We are back in the studio after a very short hiatus. It was a nice week. We had a lot of results. There's a lot of football going on, but we're back. And we're back with very bad wardrobe decisions, but that's not the point here. We're going to talk about some amazing results this weekend in the Premier League. The group draws for both the Champions League and Europa. We're going to be highlighting all of that. A lot of transfer rumors going for players and managers. Most importantly, a lot of rumors for these managers. So we're going to be talking about that. But very quickly, my name is Diego. I'm joined in the studio with Marco, Eric, and Edgar. Sorry, less smug before he starts going on an ego trip about how it's an act and not really him.
It's been going on all season. Don't start at any time.
Anyway, some very quick housekeeping. Like we always mention it, we have Tech Ball that we're pushing. We want to bring that experience to you guys. Make sure that you get in touch with us for Tech Ball. And the usual, where can they hear us? We'll see who picks it up. Marco.
You said who was gonna pick it up, and then you give it to me.
Yeah,
Nobody
I know.
picked it up.
I'm throwing you off.
He was deciding out loud.
Oh, okay. You can listen to us on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and Stitcher by searching Benchwarmers FC.
Nice. Where can they find us, Eric?
Make sure you guys give me banter about the horrible season that I'm having right now. On Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Benchwarmers FC1.
Nice. And where can they watch us? Marco.
You can watch us on YouTube at Benchwarmers FC TV.
And where can they also see us?
Hopefully soon, because the account hasn't been created yet. On Mixer at Benchwarmers FC, maybe gaming.
Yes.
If it's available.
Yes. We're going to be searching for that. We have some good pro clubs content going up there. Some Call of Duty to kind of mix it up and break the
GTA apparently lately.
break it up, and some GTA. Even though these guys are
I want to see if we can
disrespectful.
do also watching a game while streaming it and live commentary.
Oh yeah. We
maybe.
can do a,
Or even
watch with us.
Smash
We
Bros.
can do a watch with us. Lots of
You
cool
want to
stuff.
Smash Bros?
You want
Yes,
to play?
that's
Smash
exactly
Bros.
what I want to do.
Anyway, this is still the intro, guys.
Ultimately.
Make sure that you email us any new segments that you want to see on this show, on the podcast, by emailing bench@benchwarmersfc.com. And we always encourage you guys to get in touch with us. Leave a like, comment, follow, and subscribe on any of our social media channels because we want to hear from you. You got the whistle in hand, Eric?
That was in my hand. Yes, I
Nice.
do.
That's awesome.
You ready?
Hit that whistle for kickoff. Bet. The very first thing that we got is going to be pretty chill.
Okay.
We have what looks like a confirmed appointment of Ancelotti to Everton. How do you guys feel about that?
No, hombre.
I mean,
Come
for the
on.
league and for Everton, I'm excited to see.
That's
what he's
crazy,
gonna do.
right?
Yeah, man, for
They-
sure.
They must be paying this guy.
Boatloads. Boatloads. I mean, this
Yeah.
team, their owners are constructing a new stadium. They're basically building it up above the water in the Bay Area for them. And they're dropping ton of money into a stadium. They drop ton of money into players.
Didn't they drop 100 million to players this summer?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're
And
one
this
of the
is the
teams
second summer.
that put
They've
yeah.
been putting money into this squad, and they've been getting less than subpar results. I mean, at this point, it was expected them to get a good manager, but Ancelotti, bro. Like,
Wow, bro, that's
seriously.
a name.
Are you worried?
Yes.
That's a name.
I mean,
bro.
that was one game we didn't have to worry about every year. At least two games we didn't have to worry about.
That's
I mean,
fucked up.
oh, don't say that because remember
now we do.
Last year you said if you guys didn't beat them or something.
We drew, and that's why we lost the league. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. That's what it came
now
down
they
to.
have Ancelotti.
I know. Now they have Ancelotti.
That's-
Do you
that's my
do you
fear.
think? Do you guys feel that Ancelotti is going to improve this squad?
Hell yeah.
But in which department? The defense, the midfield, or the attack?
Every
Attacking.
department.
Attacking
Mid
mostly?
attack mostly because he's not one of those defensive coaches.
No.
Correct.
He's not a defensive coach, but look at what he did with Napoli. Like they were pretty.
I mean,
But
he
that's
had
the
a
league
pretty
itself.
body back there that kind
He's
of.
not the league. Yeah, I know, but still, he did very good. Like he
I think-
I don't know why it fell apart.
I
for him.
remember reading a stat some kind where they were talking about how it was the second time in his career that Ancelotti had won a match by 4 goals, and immediately after he was sacked. Do you think that's kind of unfair to him? Like, how about this? We'll pull it back a little bit. Do you think Napoli was disrespectful in the way that they let him go, or
Napoli's
was
been
he just
falling
not?
apart. Napoli's been falling apart.
Really?
so, yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, they
because
qualified.
look at Real Madrid. He won Champions League.
Mm-hmm.
He got replaced by Zidane. I mean, no, but Rafa Benitez, I believe it was.
Right, right.
Yes, but Rafa Benitez.
But I think
That's,
those are.
that's to me is kind of like, is it the board or is it the coach? Does he have falling out with the coach? The board a lot of the
it
times.
was the board. I think it was the board that let him go.
Board at Real Madrid, board at Napoli. maybe he's the coach. He's a great coach. I'm not taking anything with
He
him
walked
on
away
that
with
part.
with 2 trophies when he was coaching Bayern and got sacked as well.
Exactly. So
Wow.
maybe it's not so much of the fact of not being disrespectful to him. Maybe he just has that short time of success, and then
That Mourinho complex.
that Mourinho. Exactly. Yes. That Mourinho complex, and then you know what? Thank you for your service. You got to go.
I don't know, man.
Ooh,
I just
if
feel like
you're saying that he's semi-toxic, then Everton is maybe not the best place to
he
go.
might not be toxic to the players, because I know, like, for a fact a lot of players do have love, like, express their love for him,
Yeah.
but he might be toxic, like, in a boardroom kind of thing, kind of environment.
yeah, it could be a thing where maybe he just doesn't do well, obeying orders that come from directly above him because he wants to do what he thinks is best for the team. I don't know that, but I'm guessing, especially with the way that Italy is going right now with all this other, I guess, off the pitch stuff and how
Yeah.
crazy that league is.
Everybody wants to leave.
Yeah, it's bad. And
Oh, you think that's bad?
Even
Ronaldo wants to go leave too.
You should see Ligue 1.
Word up.
so right now Napoli have fallen to 8th.
With
I guess.
Gattuso in the Champions League, I mean,
Wait, this is the new manager, right?
yes.
Correct. Gattuso's new
Crazy.
manager.
What the fuck did he do at AC Milan?
Nothing.
He didn't do much.
He couldn't even
no.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why
put
would
him
you
at
get rid
sixth place.
of the coach who literally got you to the next round of Champions League, who gave a Liverpool run for their money in both games, and you sack him and bring in Gattuso, who has done nothing for AC Milan? I don't understand it. But you know what? I can't talk because I don't understand my club either.
Well, that being said, what's the next topic? What's the next move you're thinking about?
the next move, there's a rumor that's been coming out, and it's been getting really hot and heavy over there, especially after this weekend's match, which we'll talk about later. But the rumor is Arteta to Arsenal, and
Seriously?
I think it's like
Appearance confirmed.
it's like this penchant that Arsenal have for hiring people whose names start with like the
I
same
was
sound.
thinking about that recently too. Like Arsene Arteta, maybe.
I don't know. Maybe they think that's the key to their success.
Maybe Emery.
'cause
That's
there's
why
no-
Emery couldn't fit in, because nothing.
Yeah, there's no syllables in Emery that match Arsenal. What do you guys think about that? Because there were some photos that Marco was bringing up off camera, which I also had seen. Some photos of their chief negotiator and someone else. I forget. It slips my mind, but they were leaving Arteta's home at 1 a.m. So either they were doing something really illegal, or they were doing something
Something kinky.
something kinky, or they were doing some
he was
business.
tapping him up.
You get a late night text, hey, you up?
Yo, swing by real quick. I miss you.
Damn, they
Hey,
hit
big head.
They hit Arteta with the hey big head.
Oh man.
So
That's
you
good.
guys, I'm gonna ask Edgar first. Do you feel like, I'll put it very simple, Arteta, yes or no?
Man, look, honestly, I have no ill feelings to Arsenal or Arteta. Like, they're both had great histories, and they've had a great history together. It would suck for Arteta to go there, take this, what seems to be a poison place right now, and ruin his possibilities for a future.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It's not like he's taking up the reins from Arsene and being like, all right, give it a shot. At least, it's a squad that's falling apart, but maybe he can keep it up because he knows how the squad is.
Mhm.
First, it went to shit, and now he has to pick it up from the rubble. Yeah, it's going to be sort of like Lampard, who is, all right, you're screwed. Good luck. You have a free season. It's not like that at Arsenal because he doesn't have a free season. He needs to keep him up. He needs to get him at least into Europa League spots. If he doesn't do that, the fans are going to turn on him, even if he is like one of the loved ones.
Sure. So for you, Eric and Marco, what do you guys think? What are your? How about this? What was your first reaction when you saw because the rumor's been going on for a while, but now
Yeah.
they have these photos and people are putting links together. How you
Correct.
feel about that?
Actually, Marco texted Dimitri and myself. Was it this morning?
Yeah, it was like at 7:30 or something.
Yeah, this
like that.
morning.
Damn,
And
my man's on watch.
Bro.
I'll read to you what I said, word for word.
My man Marco has that has that alert. Like any internet mentions with Arteta.
No, not Arteta specifically, but I'm one to
Look,
say I don't mind it.
Arteta won it,
yeah, for real. So
He
I mean,
texted me too.
I agree.
Bro, I'm up.
I agree with a lot of things Edgar said as far as it's a very poisonous spot to
What
be
he's
in.
inheriting. Sure.
Yeah, what he's inheriting. The only thing I do disagree on is I don't think the fans are going to turn on him because if we do sign Arteta, is because this is the long term move.
Right.
This
okay.
isn't to save our season because we know it's already done.
Mhm.
It's done. It's already over.
I remember. Yeah.
And
you
this is
said
this is
you
exactly
were-
what I said to
you're
Marco.
writing it off. Yeah.
I
2
said to
weeks
Marco this
ago.
morning. I already threw in the towel for the season, so might as well start the next era. Although it's a huge risk, given Arteta doesn't really have that experience yet, that I was hoping to get with Ancelotti or Allegri. But if it's like the long term move, and he's given this transfer window coming up, and given the support that Freddie doesn't have yet,
Mhm.
I'm not gonna be upset about it. Like I said, this season to me is already over and done with. Just look to the next season. Arteta, I think if as long as the potential that we see is gonna come to flourish, then by all means.
Let's do it. So if they give Marco Arteta a 4-year deal straight off the bat, so that it's long term, would you feel that it was a missed opportunity with Ancelotti being available for this short amount of time to snap him up?
The problem is with either one of them, it's a hit or miss.
Okay.
But I think you had less risk with Ancelotti just because of the history and what he's accomplished throughout his own career. Bringing Arteta there's a possibility that he's gonna come in, tank, and have like a horrible beginning like Henry had with Monaco. Or
That's
he's
good
gonna be
parallel.
remembered as the person that came in and picked up Arsenal and took them to the next level.
Yeah.
There's only two ways out of this.
Sure.
Yeah, at the end of the day, like what Marco said, it's a risk. At the end of the day, Arsene Wenger was a risk. Nobody knew about him when he came to the Premier League. He was like, oh, why is this French guy coming in here? And
Sure,
he changed English football.
Mm-hmm.
So do we know if Arteta's going to be the same person? I don't know. I don't think so.
Right.
But
That's fair.
at the end of the day, it's a risk you got to take.
And you also have to consider, even though let's say they do announce it tomorrow, which we're recording Monday, so tomorrow Tuesday, the 17th, I think. He might not even start immediately because he doesn't have a team. He has nobody, no assistant
Backroom
coach,
staff, yeah.
no medical staff, no nothing. So he has to go and figure this whole thing out
From
from zero. Now, one name that out of everybody I've heard multiple times is that he would bring as his assistant coach, Xavi Alonso.
I would fucking get wet over that.
Xavi
in a
Alonso's
second.
number 2 in Real Madrid, isn't he?
No, he
In
is
Real
play-
Sociedad.
Yes.
Yeah, he's their
They're solid.
Division 2 coach.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he would come in as an assistant coach.
Those,
That's what I heard.
those personalities right there, I think, are ones that would lift the players up. Because right now, to me, Aubameyang's already done.
Yeah.
Lacazette's out the door pretty much too. So I think with the Xabi Alonso and Arteta coming in, those personalities are gonna hopefully motivate the players, which is what we need.
Yeah, at least for Xavi Alonso, his experience as a player, he played in England, he played in La Liga, he played
Liverpool legend.
Liverpool legend. He played in
Before being a Real Madrid legend.
Before being Real Madrid-
yeah,
and a Bayern
yeah.
Munich legend.
and a Bayern Munich legend. So and he started
Insane.
learning in Bayern Munich his trade. So under when Pep was there as his coach.
Correct.
Right.
So there's a lot of positivity coming in if this is the way of going.
Yeah.
It's just that it hasn't been announced, so we really can't
It
hold on to it yet.
sounds a lot like there's two people that have had access to Pep's secret plans, and they're all running to Arsenal right now at the same time. So that'd be
shit. If those
Yeah,
plans,
you just hope that the plan is spend a lot of money and buy a lot of expensive players. So they're fucked.
We're buying our trophies,
buy our
our fourth
trophy.
spot.
Yeah,
Buy our
buy
trophies.
Get the oil money.
that's the way you get the trophies nowadays.
Yeah,
Buy
Exactly,
trophies.
get the oil money. So we can talk a little bit more about the squad itself, because I know you mentioned Aubameyang and Laka and some other players, but we can get into that when we review the weekend's results. What we do want to dive into is the Champions League draw and the Europa League draw, which took place earlier today, this morning actually for us here on the East Coast, and there are some pretty interesting draws. There was a very, I guess, odd, tough opponent for once for Man City.
Yes.
Because
I agree.
they usually do get a pretty easy side, especially in these tournaments, these short form tournaments.
Yeah, they've always gotten the largest stick out of them all because everybody
Yeah.
else gets short sticks. They always get the big one.
So we have a few that we have kind of like highlighted to speak about, guys. So is there something that stuck out though, aside from the ones that we're gonna highlight here?
Yo, I'm
I'm-
excited about Atalanta Valencia though. I am excited about it because you know what? Right now, Atalanta is doing very bad in the league, in Serie A. Valencia is an up and down squad. They have good weekends, bad weekends. You can't tell what's gonna be. They change from week to week to
They
predict what they're gonna do from now until February.
Mhm.
They could both be at the bottom of the league. It's
Yeah.
like it's unknown, completely unknown.
It's-
Although there are breaks in the winter breaks, so when they come back from that, you don't know if what form they're gonna be in. It's completely unknown what to predict. So
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a good back-to-back attacking game. It'll be fun.
I personally think that the Chelsea Bayern is going to be the same way
That was mine.
because Bayern isn't in first place. They're in seventh place, I think, right now, or sixth place. And the way that Bayern is taking care of like their league, not being able to figure out what really is working for them, the same way is going on with Chelsea.
Not even big. I'm not even. I'll agree with
Bayern's,
you.
Bayern's fifth.
I agree with that Bayern
Wow.
Chelsea matchup because it's not even because of the league positioning or anything, but this is a history between those two clubs in Champions League matches.
Mhm.
Frank Lampard has had 2 goals against Bayern Munich. They've won against Bayern Munich to win the Champions League. So
Ooh, that's right.
this is like a kind of like a redemption story,
Yeah.
and at the same time, it's kind of like a Champions League rivalry. So I think this game is going to be
gonna
one
be
to
big.
watch for me.
It also is a possibility for Spurs and Arsenal fans to finally level the playing field when it comes to London teams.
Oh,
So far,
please.
Chelsea are the only London team that haven't succumbed to Bayern Munich's wrath.
I know.
And pretty much it looked like a reinvigorated Coutinho. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's one thing for you to go there like on loan and stuff and be kind of like a freak experiment, but it's another when your fellow teammates are publicly calling out for you to be signed. There were some messages that were put out by Lewandowski and others.
Yo, the
Saying
connection
that he
between
has to be
Lewandowski
signed
and
up.
Coutinho, dude, it was dirty, bro. Like I don't know if you saw the highlights, but it was nice. What Coutinho did with Lewandowski, whew.
Well, the one thing we can definitely guarantee is that Bayern Munich won't win Champions League until Coutinho leaves. So
That is
But
true.
they'll
that
win
is
it the
true.
right the year
Oh.
afterwards. So they gotta
Oh
be
my
careful.
god, yo, BR, bro, BR.
So
Fucking love 'em.
I remember I had mentioned Bayern Munich being a contender, and then right after they got like smacked in the league. Do you think they've turned a new leaf after how they handled Spurs? Is the fact that they are 5th right now in the league and they're very inconsistent going to be something that would make you think, no, I don't think so, and Chelsea might have an actual chance at this?
I think Chelsea have an actual chance just because it's, they're
It's
they
an
aren't
off-season
that
for
bad.
them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think they're that bad. Even though the honeymoon phase might be over in the league, but
Yeah, you mentioned that multiple times.
I still think that they have a team and a coach that is gonna motivate them to go against Bayern Munich and put it in a good performance.
What you got to remember is Bayern Munich takes a break. They don't
too.
play over the break. Over the
A
Christmas
month,
break.
right? A whole
It's-
month?
Yeah,
it's
like
a,
a month.
It's a while.
Yeah.
This is a time where Chelsea needs to figure out how to defend, how to play together, and it's going to give them a boost possibly for the Champions League.
Yes, not
That's
only
a- that's a
that,
good- that's a good
not only that,
factor.
they have a month off. Transfer window's opening up. They have a lot of injuries. They actually don't have a back line. I think most of their defenders are
They lost
injured.
Coleman, right?
Coleman is out for at least 6 games, and it's 6 weeks. Andrew
Yeah,
told
about
me it's like
6
6 weeks, so he's gonna miss like 6 games. But not only that, but Chelsea also have a transfer window now because they were able
Yeah.
to. So depending on who they bring in, that's how we're gonna be able to really see how they're gonna end up for their games.
And that's
Their
what we were
matches.
kind of like, basing our predictions, before the season started, is that Chelsea are gonna have a fluke season because they had no transfer windows. They appealed it. They got it. Now they have a transfer
Yeah,
window.
the story
And you've
changes.
seen all the links that are made with Chelsea.
It's
Koulibaly
ridiculous.
is going to be apparently signing to Chelsea. That to me right there is.
Koulibaly's hurt right now, so I don't know if that transfer's going to go through. You got
Well, it all depends on how long he's
Just
gonna
to
be
have
for.
that name linked to you, it's like already.
and just that.
And the Sancho links too, like
Sancho's
come
another one. It's kind of
on.
like how when you guys got Van Dijk, that kind of solved a lot of problems for you guys.
Yeah.
Now,
And
Yeah, really
that-
did.
although these players may not be able to feature in this Champions League edition,
correct.
still it's
No, they can
it's-
feature.
Oh yeah, there's
If-
new.
Oh yes,
They can
that's
feature
right.
new.
I think
Yeah,
one
yeah,
of them
yeah.
can.
I don't know about
Is
that
it,
rule.
isn't it only one?
I don't know how
I don't
many
know
it is,
about
but
that.
definitely at least one can feature because we're it's rumored that we're going to sign Mini.
Oh
from,
yeah, Leipzig.
my
Oh,
So,
Salzburg.
but the word is
God.
already out that he can play in the following fixture. So if Chelsea is able to pick up a good defender that got kicked out of the last round of Champions,
That's a very
dude, it's good to go.
Huge,
very
man.
key for
It's
a
huge.
headache solved. So switching gears really quick, we're gonna go into these 2 other matches that we had mentioned. We jumped a little bit ahead with Atalanta Valencia, Madrid against City, getting drawn against City. This is gonna be very very interesting because
All right,
a
you
lot
guys
of
are
people
you guys
thought,
are the Real Madrid fans here.
a lot
Are
of
you
people
excited
thought
about it?
I mean,
No.
I am.
yeah, me too.
I am.
think it's
I
gonna be a
the
good
thing
match.
is that like if you're scared to go against Man City, then at the end of the day, why are we in Champions League? We have to get ready to face them now or face them at the end of the day. I'd rather get through them now, and then face a Liverpool at the end of the season and hopefully get
It's
the
also
the chip
a
again.
team that historically haven't done well once they get to the knockout phases of the Champions League. So
And it's
That's
Pep.
also true.
from
And
a
it's
Real
Pep.
Madrid side, I think only Pep is the kind of like the, in Spanish you say el verdugo, the guy that always punishes Real Madrid and stuff. So
I don't know, man.
you're saying you're scared? You're
I'm
scared a little
afraid,
bit?
but the thing, you have to be scared at least a little bit, because you can't walk in extremely confident, knowing what Man City can do at home. At least, I know the history has taught us that they don't do well in Champions League. That doesn't mean that this year it can't be their year. But it just means that you have to be a little careful walking in. You don't know who's going to be injured at the time. Right now, Marcelo's out, Hazard is out. They should all be back by then. But there's also future injuries. So right now with the squad that we have, if we have it 100%, I'll tell you right now, we will definitely give Man City a run for their money. If we don't have our full squad, there's a really good possibility that we're just not going to make it.
That's very strange to hear, especially from a Madrid side.
Well, you
I'm
also should
confident
have
my
heard me.
team with
You should have
squad.
heard me last year about us not making it to 6. So.
Yeah, no, I'm very confident in Real Madrid. Even with the players that we have at the moment, like I still don't see how we can. Champions League has always been Real Madrid's competition.
For anyone confused right now that Eric just identified as a
correct.
we, it's because Arsenal's season is over and he's now officially
I just don't know
Real
that Liga
Madrid.
now. I'm fully on that wagon at this point.
The next match that the last one that we're going to highlight, I know that there's definitely others, but just to speak about on this episode, we have PSG drawing Dortmund, which I think is going to be, for lack of a better term, just electric. I feel like that matchup is going to be fire
Yeah.
because both of those teams are going to go at each other's throats, especially if, I mean, of course, these ties are going to take place in February, but especially if, which most likely Sancho will stay in place if a deal is done for him, like a buy and then loan back based kind of situation.
Yeah.
Who do you guys see coming out of this?
PSG.
Yeah.
You see PSG
Mbappe
taking Dortmund?
Mbappe is too on fire right now. You can't stop him. Nobody can
Yeah.
stop him right now.
I see PSG's walking away with it.
Mbappe, he's
Look, as much
dude,
as
he's
look,
one of
as
the best
much as-
players in the world at this given time.
Yeah, as much as I would love Dortmund to make it, like really, I would really like to see them all the way to the end. I don't think they have the squad right now to do it.
Their defense is
They,
trash.
they
Yeah.
can't. They can't. I don't
And
think.
come on.
You want me to handle the likes of Mbappe, Icardi, Neymar, Cavani,
Di Maria.
Di Maria, and they're all clicking again. You saw Neymar give Cavani a penalty the other day, which
Yeah.
last year would have been fucking the whole.
Oh, there was a big issue at the beginning.
yeah,
of this,
so they're
when they-
clicking again. So once they start clicking, we should be a little bit worried.
Be worried until Neymar decides to be injured.
Well,
for
it's
his
around
birthday.
his sister's birthday, so,
Yeah,
he might pick
he
up
might
the
make
injury.
one game, but not the other one.
Yeah.
So about this thing,
I heard he's going on a boat with Icardi now.
Oh my god! So this whole thing
Vacation together.
about
That's in the summer.
how do you guys feel about this whole thing? And it is a thing. It's not a rumor. It's not a theory. He has missed playing for around his sister's birthday, including the date of, which is March 11th, for the last 5 seasons.
I say we bring this back up this year if it happens again.
Yeah.
If it happens again, then I think it's
I think-
it's a fact.
Look, I have a feeling that it will not happen because it's such a big thing. But I can assure you that his sister will be in Paris celebrating her birthday.
It'll be one of those things that like he gets subbed off early and he leaves in 75th minute.
Oh, my stomach hurts.
Coach, I can't do this.
I can't travel
Like
today.
what was it? I think it was maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Aubameyang ran to the bathroom real quick and nobody noticed.
Yeah.
Word?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the
We noticed.
85th minute.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah,
right
yeah,
at the end of the game.
Yo, bro, you gotta go. You gotta go.
Oh, nature calls.
Nature calls when nature calls.
Yeah, it's happened to me.
Yeah, it happened to me too, bro. I gotta go take
Yeah?
a shit sometimes. You gotta go, bro.
Nature calls, bro.
No story time. No story time
It's
for listeners. Is it too gruesome?
It's a little gruesome, man.
Yeah, it's a
Never
little.
mind. Don't worry about it.
Dang. No
Bodily
problem.
diarrhea.
What would you? What? So really, what would you guys do in that situation? How about that? Like
What,
if
you
you
gotta
really,
take a shit.
yeah, if you
I
really
mean,
gotta,
if it's
if you
really
really
that
gotta
bad,
take a deuce,
I'm gonna go take a shit. I'm
gonna-
gonna shit myself in
I'm
the
running
field.
out.
you gonna walk
Yeah.
off?
With white shorts on? Puta madre, you know.
Just say it's like a
leaks
sponsor logo.
through.
Sponsor logo. It's a
Nasty,
it's a little sponsor logo on the
Have
back.
you ever like ran with like shit in your pants? I haven't either, but I'm sure you can get like a
I
rat.
thought that was-
For a minute,
I thought he was
just
leading into that story.
It
like,
was hanging
yo,
out.
let me tell you.
I'm sure you guys remember the last time you sharded, right?
Fortunately, yeah.
Yeah, it happens.
So
Yeah, it's happened.
you know
Yeah,
how you
yeah,
do the little.
You're like, ooh, oh! I think I should have never forced that one out.
A
Yo,
little
those
clenching.
wet farts where you don't know if he took a shit or not.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
bro.
I gotta go check, and then you go check. He's like, "Why is it dry? Oh, that thing was moist."
Yeah, dude. It was in your butt cheeks though, so like lingering on. Okay, it's just disgusting. We're completely off the rails at this point.
So, bringing it back to the draws, we have the greatest European competition
Yeah,
known to
draws.
man.
Nice.
It's Europa. So Arsenal have drawn the Greeks. They're gonna go to Olympiacos. Do you feel like this is gonna be a tricky
Every
tie?
game is tricky at this point.
I mean, aside from that,
Every
looking at
game is tricky.
Olympiacos.
Every game is tricky.
Okay,
man.
we'll
not
leave it
gonna-
at that.
I'm not gonna be going into, hey, we're gonna win this game Vibes no. It's every game is tricky.
And then United also drew Club Brugge, which historically they've done well against, but they are a completely different side than when we faced them, like in 2013, 2012, back when Depay was in the squad. Which honorable mention to Depay. Shout out to him. ACL injury, maybe season ending. So that really sucks, especially seeing how good he was doing for Holland. He'll definitely want to take care of that if he wants to be part of the Euros next year.
Sure.
That's gonna be tough. It's gonna be really
from
rough.
Young?
Yeah, Depay with
He got
ACL
injured?
rupture. Yeah,
When?
it was
His best game? Was
yeah.
it when he took the banner off of the racist guy
Oh.
wanting Marcelo out?
Probably. I don't know. I don't know when it happened, but like specifically. But yeah, that was a bad one. So those are the draws. We're gonna see how that comes out early next year, and it's definitely something that we're gonna be able to look forward to because those matches are actually pretty good. There were some pretty good matchups there. But leading it back to the league play, we had some matches this weekend. We're starting with Chelsea Bournemouth. Chelsea losing 1-0 in the, I think it was like about like the 85th minute after a really lengthy VAR check. You had said it already, and you've said it, and I've agreed with it every time. Honeymoon period is over. What is Lampard doing now? Is he really gonna have to splash the cash during the transfer window? Or
Man, that's what Chelsea has been notorious for. When they have issues, they throw money at the issue.
yes, that's you can't really argue that, especially with the Abramovich era when he came in. They weren't doing very well, and then they just threw a bunch of money at it.
That's what it is. Every plastic clubs at the end of the day. That's what they are now. You know, like I'm not just be real. That's what it is. That's what football is nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
There's no more grassroots football like Edgar likes to say. But it's at the end of the day, yeah. I think right now the honeymoon phase is over. This transfer window is gonna turn it around for them though. I'm pretty sure about that.
Do you think that they would actually be able to pick players up like Koulibaly and Sancho, Marco?
Yeah, without a problem. I think this is the perfect time. I think they got lucky that their honeymoon phase and it's starting to end now, because the transfer window is around the corner. So
And they
whatever happens from here on out, it can be fixed in quotes in the transfer window
because they can identify what areas they need to improve.
They need
That's
to.
actually a
They
good
definitely
point to
need
make.
to bring a center back.
Yeah,
a
it's kind of
left
obvious
back kind of thing.
what they need right now. Like
Yeah.
they need a center back and they need a winger because Williams, it's old already.
Williams phased out, and Pulisic just isn't. He's not sticking.
I don't know. Well, I think he's gonna do fine.
I don't know. In a game like this, Bournemouth. So you have two teams so far this season, West Ham and Bournemouth, that had losing streaks, and they both ended at Stamford Bridge.
We can't just go on a one-off game. They're one place right now. They're in fifth, I think, or fourth.
Bournemouth,
No, Chelsea.
Chelsea, no,
fourth.
they're in fourth.
I can't really say that.
I mean, for the fact that the honeymoon period is over and they've been losing matches and all this stuff, they're still in fourth. But that's largely due to the fact that they did so well at the beginning.
Mhm.
It's kind of like they did the hard work. Now they're kind of slipping a little bit, so they're just holding their heads above water.
Yeah.
The next match though, which was very annoying for me fantasy wise, Liverpool against Watford. You had a disallowed goal from Mane, and Salah finally producing something after I don't know how many weeks that he's blanked.
Yo, who keeps saying that it's Liverpool? I mean, obviously we've gotten 2 goals disallowed this season
Oh my
by bullshit
God.
VAR calls, but I live with it.
You guys
It's
asked for
fine.
it.
Yeah, you asked for it.
That's what I'm saying. We're living with it. It's fine. Let it
Gonna
be.
have to.
Rule change next season, hopefully. But regardless, Salah, dude, can't score with his left, but makes
Yo,
some
what
worldly
the
right
hell? For real?
Yeah,
Yo,
that was-
Origi
that was
can't
a
shoot with
fucking
his
shit.
right, but he fucking Salah falls.
That's what I don't understand about Salah. Granted, Coutinho misses the easiest ones, but makes like crazy ones.
impossible ones.
Yeah.
I don't get it, man.
Yeah.
But- and honestly, we didn't have a great game. Watford could have won the game. I mean,
Yeah, they had
If Decore hadn't-
several
oh
chances.
my god, if Decore hadn't missed that, and Salah hadn't
Several
missed that,
chances.
Klopp did say it. In this game, there was crazy wind, and it actually benefited us because he does think that the ball did, divert a little bit when it came to their
Bruh.
players. But dude,
The
like
wind,
if you see the curve on Salah's, it could have been a missed shot, and they just got pulled in by the wind. Like honestly, in this time, it favored us.
Eric's hiding his face.
I
I
don't
think
know if it's Liverpool or Weatherpool. I don't know what it is. I don't know what to call him anymore.
The VAR thing, you guys needed it so that it doesn't look like you're getting benefited by
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
It's kind of like
the little
Conspiracy
slip
theory.
of-
here you go. It's fair.
No,
For everybody
This is where the X-Files theme song would drop.
No, honestly, that money offside. That's like, again, I don't
Those,
care. I don't
those
care who
offsides
it
are
is.
BS,
Those
man.
piss me off, man.
Those
Just
offsides are
let
Did
BS.
they draw the
For
line?
anyone.
That needs a rule change.
With the
That's what it
armpit.
comes down to.
Oh, the armpit shit?
Yeah,
No.
it was an armpit offside.
I thought it was his hip.
No,
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 it was-
someone's
it was an
Again,
armpit.
once they
I
start
thought
drawing
hips
the
don't lie.
line, that's when it pisses me off.
Yeah, but hey,
Yeah.
that's a rule change. That's a conversation for another day. But yeah, Liverpool weren't to their best, but we managed to keep a clean sheet and we got the 2 goals. Call it a day, move on to the next. That's what it comes down to.
That's what I don't understand. Like, how are Liverpool looking weaker now, but still
winning.
Still winning.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't get it.
annoying.
It
Honestly, I don't get
just
it,
blows
'cause
my mind.
it's annoying,
'Cause
'cause
last season you would have never seen Watford get these opportunities on Liverpool.
Bro, Delofeu clear in. Like, the fact that his finishing is garbage. Decore
I saw it,
also
by the way,
having
he's
several
to Liverpool.
chances.
Delafeu.
Oh, I hope not.
But no, it's
Dude,
blowing my mind. How
Alisson came up with some massive saves this
He did,
game.
he
It was
did, he did.
ridiculous. Like, I honestly don't get it.
man.
I haven't said it this season yet. We do not look good yet. We are not shooting great yet. Finally,
And even
Salah's doing
defending.
something.
Even defending,
Even defending.
Yeah.
This is our first clean
First,
sheet?
yeah.
Second?
Yeah, it's
It's
been
ridiculous.
Second.
and you've been saying it a lot.
I mean, I love my team, but I ain't gonna be blind to it. Like, I know
Yeah.
that they haven't been great, but somehow we haven't fucking lost. I don't get it.
It's because you're gonna lose at the end once you actually need to win.
Yep. it's Liverpool
Whoa,
way.
whoa.
It's Liverpool way.
so. I hope
It goes to our manager's
Wait,
pass.
who's gonna be the one to slip this year?
I don't know.
Make a prediction right now. Who's slipping
Who's
this year?
slipping this year?
Who's gonna be
I saw
whatchamacallit?
funny as meme. You seen that Mbappe celebration where he's laying on the side?
Yeah.
They have one of him laying on the side and Steven Gerrard tripping over him. Oh my god, that's gold, man. That's great.
Yeah, who's gonna be Gerard this year?
Nah,
I think it's gonna be Milner.
Yes, I can see Milner doing something like
just
that,
signed again,
bro.
too.
Oh yeah,
Milner
it's
signed
a-
We
and
also- we
speaking
also
of that,
had-
Klopp's signed an extension till
4 year and a
24?
half.
2024.
We also
Yeah.
had inches away from a Van Dyke, from a glorious Van Dyke own goal.
Own goal, dude.
I
all
was
of us.
so, bro. I was so excited for that, man. I was like, oh my god, he messed up. Oh, shit. I was like,
It's crazy because he hasn't looked like the Van Dijk of last season.
No, he
It's-
hasn't,
It's
Nope.
I don't know, man, but
Sums up. But they're still putting the wins together,
Yeah.
and that on obviously in a
That
long
matters.
term, competition like the Premier League, it is what matters. What did also matter though is their closest contenders for first place, Leicester City, dropping valuable points against Pukki and company. I can't believe that they lost to this team.
Tied.
That they
drew,
lost
yeah.
points. Sorry, and they drew 1-1. Some other
And
controversy
they got
there.
lucky, man. They got lucky with
Some
that
other other controversy there with Vardy and Madison getting their points taken away for the goal that was scored. It was officially given as a Tim Krul own goal.
Yeah,
What do you think, Marco?
Harsh.
it sucks because you see why they did it. The ball was going out, and then because who was the goalkeeper
Krul, yeah.
touched it,
It changed trajectory,
yeah. So it does suck. I needed the points. I picked up Madison
And Vardy.
today or this past week, and that pissed me off.
so I get.
But-
Let me ask you this though: do you think this is the beginning of the end of the honeymoon phase for Leicester City?
Another honeymoon phase. I think they just.
No.
I think.
Well,
I don't know.
I think it gets to-
all
with
depends on
Chelsea.
this weekend. They're
Bro,
playing Man City.
Yes. I think after this Man City game is clutch because it's going to be key because Vardy has been clutch for the last like 5 or 6 weeks,
Mhm.
scoring consecutively. You know, he can only do so much. If the rest of the team isn't contributing to the goals, they're gonna end up with a 1-1 draw against a team like Norwich.
Correct.
And you know, Pukki was he was mostly all over the pitch. I was able to watch that game too. His goal, him with Buendia are now the highest combining attacking duo. Like they have direct assists to goal scored in the league. So that's very interesting to see after Pukki has kind of like died out a little bit. But this coming weekend, Leicester City versus Manchester City. It's going to be huge.
Yeah, good game to watch.
It's going to be a very good game to watch. The next one, moving on though, another draw, United and Everton. It was there's a lot of points here that I want to pick up on for Everton, but I don't know if you guys watched this match.
Was it a foul?
Well, I think, bro, I think it was a foul. I'm sorry. I really do.
There's a lot. I've seen a lot of debates back and forth about it.
And like that's the thing. The fact that it's being debated, it makes me believe that okay, if it's not that clear cut to the majority of people, maybe it wasn't a foul. But the thing is that we've always seen that the goalies are always very protected, especially in the air.
Oh,
was
that yes. No,
it was
foul.
a it was a
foul.
bad it was a bad jump by De Gea. Like it was an awful positioned jump by him. But either way, the law does give them a bit of slack and protects goalies as far as contact. So should have been looked at and maybe taken away. I'm not sure if maybe that's something that's key or possible even for VAR. But either way, Mason Greenwood saving a lot of blushes at Old Trafford with a nice left-footed finish. The one thing I did want to bring up though is Moise Keane,
Oh, poor
the
kid.
the substitute being
Poor
substituted.
kid.
I think that's such
18
an
minutes?
that's such an ego slap, man. I really do.
What's his name?
Duncan
Duncan
Ferguson.
said it wasn't personal. Said it was just for time management
But-
purposes. But
It's a
I mean,
bullshit
you have
excuse, man. You could've
10
come
other
up with
players to
something
choose
better.
from, and you choose the one kid you just threw in, who hasn't really debuted yet for Everton in the way that he would want to. So
Yeah, he hasn't been given minutes.
so it's
And he was a
You know what I think it could be? Duncan Ferguson isn't willing to say that he fucked up. He has said that he's not the coach. He can't be the coach. He's gonna do his best as he can, but maybe he's like, "Oh crap, I shouldn't have put him in. I messed up." So he takes him out. He's like,
yeah,
I,
like
need
an
to, I have to fix
like
my
a-
mistake.
like an emotional decision, right?
Exactly. But he's just saying, "Oh, like he doesn't want to blame himself, but he also doesn't want to blame the kid." So he's coming up with his bullshit excuse.
Yeah,
Regardless,
because-
optics are bad. It really
yeah, it
depends
just
to
looked
what
really
he
bad
gives.
Slapped
because
his-
he's
yeah.
saying that it wasn't personal, but as soon as Moise Keane came off, you see Duncan turn his back to him, walk away, he doesn't even acknowledge the kid. And this
Oh,
is someone
did he?
who's young.
Seriously?
Yeah. The
Yeesh.
replay shows like when he comes off, Omar Niasse daps him up, pats him on the head. They switch places, and by that point, as soon as Moise Keane, arrived to the touchline, Duncan completely turns away, so that way Moise Keane is behind him and he starts walking away. And so Moise Keane, instead of going into the to the dugout, he goes straight to the changing rooms, which are on the other corner, on the other end of the pitch at Old Trafford. So it must have been a very awkward walk back, and I just felt so bad.
No, yeah, man. It's again. He had a great spell at Juventus.
He was looking fire.
He's looking
Yeah.
fire now to be looking on fire at Juventus to being subbed out after 18 minutes after getting subbed on at Everton, who's in the relegation battle. That is, his ego.
a fall,
His
man.
ego's in the tank.
Let's just hope that if Ancelotti does come in, he'll take advantage of it a
Well, we'll
little
see
more.
what Ancelotti can do with
Do
that.
you think that Ancelotti would favor him being Italian as well?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm excited to see what Everton's gonna do, man. Honestly, low key, I'm very excited to see what they're gonna do
They
because
see what they,
I'm a huge Ancelotti fan. I've always loved him. I
what they
always
want to
supported
do.
him.
Maybe he'll be able to do something with Arsenal Light with the likes of Iwobi and Walcott on there.
Yeah.
Let's see if you can get some juice out of them. The next one and the last one, though, speaking about teams or managers that start with A, you had Arsenal taking on Man City at home, conceding after 2 minutes. It was the Kevin De Bruyne show by a long
God,
shot.
man.
And yes, it pains me to say with Pogba on United, but De Bruyne is currently the best player in the Premier League.
Hands
No,
down.
but
Hands down.
did you hear the stat that this is his first brace in the Premier League?
Yes, I was like, what?
That's crazy to think.
This is the first time he
ridiculous.
scores twice.
That's crazy to think.
I mean, he's been known for assisting,
yes.
and he's been known for controlling the matches. But I was like, for someone that good, for this to be the very first time he scores a brace, I was like, no way.
I mean, his quality of football is unmatched in the Premier League, in my opinion, right now.
really is.
I can't see anybody putting the same style of passes that he puts in and putting those fucking bangers, man.
Did you see
He
that?
almost had a hat trick.
Yes, he almost had a hat trick. That ridiculous save that Burton Leno had. He got fingertips to
Oh
it,
my god.
which he took
beautiful.
off of. I think it was Phil Foden.
Yep.
He faked out 3 or 4 players cutting in from the left channel.
Mhm.
And
channel.
the ball, the right channel, sorry, the ball just gets a little bit ahead of him, and De Bruyne's like, I'm having it. And he freaking, that hit from all angles was glorious.
I was like, oh shit, here it comes. And then I was surprised, but yo, De Bruyne is just
yeah,
oh my
fingertips
No,
going
but-
off the upright.
All right, and to quote De Bruyne, how he said it on BR, Kevin.
God. Let me talk. Let me talk.
Do you think that this Man City side is looking like they can bridge that gap right now? Based off of this performance, was it an Arsenal side that they kind of picked off of after
Well,
losing last week?
I never thought that Arsenal were gonna get a point out of this game. To be honest with you, a draw was a prayer in
The
my
best
opinion.
result, sure.
So I don't know if this is gonna be their, I guess, the beginning of their 18-game win streak that they have to get in order to catch up. Like we saw in the BR video.
Yeah.
But it's they're looking in form again. they still have those defensive issues until Laporte comes back. I'm not gonna bail them
they're
out
looking
yet
wild out there.
because
in the back.
Martinelli was kind of embarrassing them. An 18-year-old getting through them in the first minute,
Yeah, and then
almost scoring.
my man Pepe embarrassing himself with Techers going wrong and stuff.
Nah, well, one or two, but that's what we got them for. At the end of the day, they're not solid in the back, so I don't think that this Manchester City squad is gonna be able to bridge that gap until they fix those defensive issues.
Those defensive
Yeah.
We're gonna
issues.
see it this weekend. That's what it comes down to. Because
Yeah.
Leicester has a very good defense,
They
yes, yeah, they do.
and
Solid
Man City
defense.
has the best attack, supposedly.
Supposedly.
Right? So, but they have a very shit defense. And Vardy, I mean, come on, they have great attack.
He can
So,
poach that, yeah.
It's
yeah.
gonna be a phenomenal game. This
It
weekend.
is. It's gonna be fun game to watch.
So bringing it back to the Arsenal match, just really quickly, one thing that I wanted to highlight, how Ozil has been kind of hung out to dry right now. He was subbed off. The camera fixated on him for whatever reason. He's had some comments that he put out. Arsenal distanced themselves. Not to get into that too much, but I'm guessing that's why the reason they focused on him as he was coming off. He takes off his gloves, kicks him in frustration. Kind of like the same type of we'll categorize that as like a tantrum, if you will, that Xhaka had when he came off. Why isn't Ozil getting the same kind of stick?
Because
Shaka-
not the captain, man.
Shaka didn't talk shit to the fans and take his jersey off and throw it on the floor.
So you're
Yeah,
saying it
That's
was
a completely different tantrum. He got pissed off for being subbed off.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's
But him
different.
kicking his gloves.
That's different
I'll
from
fucking do it.
taking the
I'll
captain bands
I'll-
off.
I'll fucking take off shoe and throw it back into the field.
Yeah,
Like,
that's I
just-
mean, if
yeah.
you're telling me that that's the same reaction as opposed to another player who takes the captain's armband off, tosses it, talks shit to the fans, and takes his jersey off and throws it on the floor, I would agree with you on that. But these are completely different tantrums. We see it all the time.
Mhm,
We
mhm.
see it all the time. Mine threw a tantrum on the Liverpool bench when because Salah didn't pass him the ball one time, but
Sure.
it happens. Ronaldo gets pissed off in Juventus because he got taken out by Saudi.
So they're
happened.
them being two different situations. Then also being subbed off. Would you categorize this as one of maybe his most ineffective performances to date?
No. He's had worse performances today, but this is like beating a dead horse with a broken record, because broken record meaning that it's the same issues over and over.
No,
again.
I get that. Just the being horse thing. But
Beating
okay,
a dead
continue.
horse,
Yeah,
'cause,
yeah.
it's the same shit over and over again.
Yeah.
You put two.
That's
Two
well,
together,
Yeah, that's why that was like
Took
threw
them
me
all
off. I'm
together,
like, wait,
yeah.
what? No, I heard him
Did you catch up
differently,
to the train yet,
separately.
Marco? Did you
I'm
catch?
like, I've done
with
a
a broken record.
Yeah, I was
yeah,
like,
that's
That's what it-
shit,
that's
bro.
the state of affairs. Yeah,
It
because
really
we were
is.
talking about, and I texted you about
Arsenal's
this.
making you create new metaphors.
And I'm not gonna be AFTV and just rant off, because at the end of the day, I'm not gonna talk about the game because we all know what the issues are. We see what the issues are. The question is what's gonna be done to fix these issues.
Mhm.
I don't think Lucille's the issue. It's the defensive issues. At the end of
Bigger,
the day.
sure, of course.
It's-
So
it drives a
I
lot
had
deeper than
messaged
that.
you off air about Ozil and giving him a chance and stuff like that, and I guess coming to the point of agreement where his time is, it's just his time at being able to redeem himself just didn't work out for him. Does this mean it's the end for Ozil, and does this also mean a player like Lacazette should jump ship too? After seeing him just slouched in his chair, obviously that could be natural because any player would want to be on the pitch instead. But it just seems like Lacazette has been very much overlooked, not just by Ljungberg, but by Emery as well.
Well,
What do you think for each of them?
I've told Marco I'd prefer that front three that we had. I'd take that over anybody at the current moment, even over Lacazette, because when we throw in Lacazette, we push Aubameyang to a position that he doesn't produce as much as he would
Mm-hmm.
in that current role. But to answer your question, I'm 99% sure Aubameyang and Lacazette are going to be out. I'm not saying 100% sure because there's nothing on paper yet,
Sure.
but I'm
that's fair.
99% sure that they're going to be out.
They're
And
heading for the door. Is
if-
Ozil going to follow them?
I don't know. He's not going to follow them. Why? Because he's getting paid $300K a week, and he is
He's
just chilling. He's getting paid nice money.
All right, he's chilling. So I guess that really wraps up most of the results for the weekend. We had an interesting match you had mentioned between Southampton and West Ham, Edgar, and how
30
crazy
second
that
rant.
and how crazy that
Yo,
match was. I'll
Pellegrini.
give you a 30-second
Oh,
rant.
word.
I'll give you that.
Pellegrini
Lucky.
saved his ass, bro. Antonio is a beast,
Got
dude.
big ass hands though.
Yo, my God. No, honestly, Danny Ings got done hard by just Miss Lady Unlucky,
Yeah.
basically, because my man hit two posts, was offsides. I think he got a goal disallowed, or I think he hit the post and it didn't. Goal line technology called it a no goal, which it was correct, but it's
Sure.
like there was nothing more he could do, and then fucking West Ham goes ahead and gets
It's like
one goal
FIFA.
they need. It's
Yeah, it takes the knee-
ridiculous.
It's like
I mean,
FIFA.
it was a great match. It really was a great match, and I knew it was gonna be a battle for the bottom. Try to get out of the
6 pointer,
relegation
sure.
space, but it's unfortunate for Southampton. I wish Danny Ings would have done better, but hey, it is what it is.
So I'm gonna try to look up the minute that they scored. Yeah,
It was-
37th minute. But Mikel Antonio with a disallowed goal.
Yeah, Antonio had a lot of goal as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a tough match, but it was.
But he was
Very
he was the game changer in that. I think he's
was
he's kind of low key pretty fucking good.
He is. He's not a flashy player. He's a
tank.
bull.
He's a tank.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
is.
And he will
Kind of like Benteke in his prime. Even though right now they struggled very much against Brighton today, they had a match. Zaha coming in clutch and Neil Maupay scoring for the third week in a row. Moving on to some other mic time for Le Smug in the studio. We have we have the Club World Cup coming up this month, and the EFL Cup. There's some matches that are going on this week as well. How do you see these two matches playing out, and what you were talking about off air a little bit about which squads were going to be used for each competition?
So what had surprised me was that we are divided into squads, and it's not going to be the A team divided in two. It's going to be the A team going to the FIFA World Cup, and the B team being the under 23s playing against Aston Villa. So talking about them first, real quick. It's a solid squad, a lot of good young players. I'm excited for them, but I don't expect them to win. And their captain Curtis Jones is actually not playing in that game. He's going.
Oh,
to,
no way.
He's going to the A squad, so
Okay,
he's going to
cool.
be traveling. So it's interesting. I wish he would have stayed because he actually does seem like a great leader for the U23s. But I think they're actually grooming him to put him in the A squad pretty soon. So he has to go. He has to go. Fine, EFL Cup out, whatever. As long as the young kids get to play, hopefully they do a good game and make it exciting like they did against Arsenal.
So for the Club World Cup, we're talking about how a lot of the teams from the lower leagues, with no disrespect, have to kind of like battle it out and qualify to the knockouts. The Champions League winners automatically get seeded into the semifinal. So the semifinal right now is Liverpool against Monterrey, a team from La Liga, from Liga MX. Sorry. Do you feel like this is going to be easy for you guys? They also have several things.
Monterrey. I know nothing.
They
I just know that they work hard. They bust their ass, and they'll have some crazy shots. I've watched some highlights from the Mexican League where they have the craziest, wildest shots. But it also, a lot of the time, it's very bad defending. It's very bad goalkeeping. That's
Very
something that
open
Liverpool
play.
doesn't have.
Yeah.
I mean, even on our worst days, our defense has been able to keep it down to one goal. And with our attack and with the squad that we're taking and the lack of injuries that we have, I don't see why we can't beat Monterrey. Now, if we lose to them and we lose in the EFL Cup, I'm going to be disappointed because the whole reason of doing this is to at least get one more cup. If we were, I think the FIFA World Cup is a bullshit competition, but
But
We
Eddie,
have to
Eddie, Eddie
compete.
wants it though.
Eddie wants it. I want the EFL. I want to get the triple or the quadruple, but it depends on what you want. You know what I mean? Again, if Klopp chooses that we're going for the FIFA World Cup, let's go for the FIFA World Cup, but
Well-
let's not lose out to Monterrey.
Well, that's what we were talking off air about how not important the FIFA World Cup is, but the fact that you can wear that badge throughout the whole year
It's a
makes
nice
it all
badge,
makes
man.
it
Drives me
worth
nuts.
it.
All of last season, I had to see a stupid badge on Real Madrid's jersey. It's
Oh, you
like,
have to.
the
you
more
signed it for
important
3
one was on the
seasons.
shoulder.
You've seen it
Yeah,
for
but
3
I was only
seasons.
focusing last season because it should have been ours. But I was looking at it on the shoulder being the Champions League one. All right, fuck it. That one's beautiful. Like, it means something. Then I see the big gold one in the middle. It's like, come on, man.
You see it all year.
I know.
Every jersey has it. Doesn't
And it
matter where
looks
what it is.
nice.
It's every jersey. But then again, what I was going to talk about the game is it kind of feels like if you put like I don't know, USL team versus a team from Plainfield, the one they hear that field right there that you can
The Tercera field.
yeah,
gotcha.
that it's kind of like that. Just expect a lot of kicks.
That's what I was, I was actually gonna say that. I'm like, you say you guys are lacking injuries. I'm like, you might walk out with a few in this game.
No, and that's what
Just
that's
watch
what
out for those
scares me.
kicks, bros.
What I am interested in to see is the last time that Liverpool were in this competition, Flamengo also did win the league in Brazil, and Flamengo I think did win the FIFA World Cup.
The Club World Cup, right?
Yeah.
So it was they're the last team to get knocked off the perch. Monterrey, I can tell you real quick. I was looking up some of their stats so I don't butcher it. I do know off the top of my head that they're in the final for the Mexican Apertura, which is kind of like their first half tournament of the
Yep.
season. But they're playing that on the 26th, which is in
Boxing Day.
about like 2 weeks. Yeah, Boxing Day
Yeah.
against Club America. So this Club World Cup match is going to be a full like about week earlier than when they have to do that, so they don't have to worry about like maybe splitting squads or stuff like that. They do have though Vincent Janssen on their squad,
Yeah,
which is
he's really good.
that ex Spurs player, and he's
Yeah.
been doing pretty good.
But we don't have
this
problems
Dutch
against
guy.
Spurs, so
Yeah, most
Well,
likely.
just leave it there. Hopefully Monterrey walks out with the result.
Yeah,
And then we'll replay this clip for him.
we don't have problem with Spurs players. Monterrey 2-1.
Janssen, 2 goals.
that's just gonna kill me.
The very last thing that we want to talk about right now on this kickoff segment is El Clásico. Finally coming up this week on Wednesday in the afternoon. A very strange fixture. If you listeners will remember, it was postponed and rescheduled due to the civil unrest going on in Barcelona at the time. Since this first edition of El Clásico this season is going to be hosted at Camp Nou.
Yes.
Do you guys have anything to say about this match? With the fact that Real Madrid dropped points against Valencia this weekend,
So did Barcelona.
and
against
so did
Real Sociedad.
Barcelona, when both of them could have
Walked away with the win.
walked away with the
no
win.
problem.
It just makes this fixture even more interesting because now they're
Correct.
tied on 35 points each.
Yep.
I'd say just look out for Bale.
Yes?
Yeah, I think Bale was rested for this game.
I think he's gonna get the start, and I think he's gonna.
No, he's definitely gonna get the star.
He's going to run train?
I don't know. I'm gonna wait to get the official lineups on my phone. But I say
See,
what.
I'm be like, oh fuck.
Yeah,
Bale's not
like,
gonna
oh,
be-
Marco, you said Bale's
You
gonna
said Bale's
start.
gonna.
But no, I mean, I think what look out for Bale. I think he's gonna if he does get the start, he loves doing things against Barcelona.
He really does.
This is Messi's match, though, man.
Oh,
Like,
my.
let's be honest, though. The guy has put up numbers in this match. He steps up for this match. The question is the rest of the team going to step up with him? That's what I'm curious about. Defense, we're still not looking good. Busquets was looking very bad. Like, it's time for him to get moved on. It's time for him to just give it up to Frankie de Jong. Like,
Yeah, you
honestly,
had quite a few players, which I saw a post about it just before coming to the studio, of the few players that were going to have their first Clásico experience. So on the Barcelona side, you had Griezmann, you had De Jong, Ansu Fati, Junior Firpo, and for Madrid side, you had Rodrigo Goes. You also had Ferland Mendy for his first one, Hazard as well, even though he's not featuring.
Yeah,
I'm
but
excited, but I feel like
Luka
it's
Jovic,
too, I feel
too.
like it's two giants with like severe injuries.
yeah.
You know, it's
It
like
is.
two
Kind
hurt
of
giants that are
feels
gonna
like
fight it out.
Wait, who does
Like,
Barcelona have
Two
injured right
geriatrics
now?
going at it.
Besides Dembele, because he's always injured. But who do Barcelona have injured?
Injured? No, I don't mean injured as in
But
injuries.
no,
but I
are there
mean,
any injuries in that current squad?
Like unavailable players?
Not really. No.
So I think if Real Madrid walk away with the result, that kind of would highlight the position that Barcelona in right now, because Real Madrid have injuries left
Yeah,
and right.
Marcelo's not playing. Hazard's not playing. Who else is not playing?
No, if you guys walk
That's
away
it.
with a win, it's like you guys have the weaker team, technically
speaking,
and you still beat us. It's because Barcelona aren't in
Yeah.
great ways right now.
we're basically walking in with two horrible defenders, the defensive back, because we both have bad ones. But we are walking in, at least us are walking in with an informed and a little above average Benzema, which
Nah,
not above
Benzema,
average.
little-
He's
my man is
on fire
killing
right
it.
now.
He's killing it. He's killing it.
And then you guys are not struggling, but are figuring out what Griezmann really has to do.
Yeah.
But he's gonna play. I know it for a fact he's gonna play.
He's gonna play.
So it's gonna be an interesting game.
Tuesday, Griezmann not playing.
Everything I've said.
When I'm
is
right, I'm
back
right.
on
When I'm
the-
wrong, I'm wrong.
Exactly. Marco Cruz. It's definitely gonna be an interesting game. I'm hoping for a tie.
You're hoping for a tie.
Win, man. The fuck? I'm hoping for a
Look,
win.
I'm realistic, bro.
I
At the
mean,
end
yeah,
of the
be
day-
realistic.
That's how you feel about it?
Barcelona drew against Real Sociedad. Like they're not in the best
Yeah,
form.
but y'all drew against Valencia though.
Correct, but
No,
that
I'm
doesn't take
gonna be the
away-
first one to cry and scream when Real Madrid win. But look, I know how our squad can be. If y'all scored that one goal first couple minutes,
This game always goes either way though. It's not like
no.
I
It's
don't
in the
know.
past couple years,
Barcelona-
it's Barcelona's way more than
Barcelona
Real
had it
Madrid's.
most of-
correct,
yeah.
but it goes either way though. There's times where Real Madrid come out with 3-0 win when Ronaldo was there at that time, but not anymore. Obviously, it's a different team now.
Yeah.
But this is we still have world class players.
As far as
I'm
drop
a little more
points
skeptical.
and
about it.
the records for each. So we have Barcelona, who is 11-2-3. So they have one more win than Madrid, who has 10 wins, but Madrid have only lost one match. They have 5 draws. So it's kind of showing that they're a bit of like an Achilles heel, not being able to kill off games. Coming into this match with only one loss, though, it really I feel the same way as Eric. I feel like it can go either way.
Yeah,
Yes,
they're both bad.
historically over the last few years, it would be kind of blind to not acknowledge the fact that Barcelona have
Won it, yeah.
rocked this fixture specifically against Madrid, and especially Messi showing up in the last dying moments of these damn games, which is awful.
Last
But
time he
look
did
at
it,
their
he did
current
it.
forms; they're not looking good. So
Yeah.
it's easy to say this game can go either way.
So does that mean a Courtois goal for
Yo, another header in the last
Courtois
minute.
header
too.
in the
For real.
90th
Yo,
minute.
he almost had it too. But that is if the game actually happens, because shit is still happening in Barcelona right now as we speak. That could cause the game not to happen. Security is up to I think 1,000 police officers to be there. 13 trucks are going to be escorting Real Madrid from their hotel to.
I heard they're going to be in the
To
same
the-
hotel.
Yeah, they're both staying at the same hotel because of security issues.
Can you imagine that?
Actually, it's
That's wild.
it's a level 4 of terrorism in Barcelona right now.
I would if I was in the same hotel playing against Messi, I'd be banging on that door all
this-
night.
Yo, like
Yeah,
everybody
fight
in
in the middle of the night, like, yo.
putting music outside the
Me-
other team's
No,
fucking
me-
hotel.
Meet me in the cafeteria. We're gonna fight. Real Madrid, Barcelona, just banging down in the cafeteria.